And who doesn't like a little cream cheese with their fish? Hi everybody, it's me, Jill. Welcome to Jill Informed. This is the recap of The Real Housewives of Orange County, Season 13, Episode 11, 8.5 Minutes to Success. You know, I feel like this was a good, entertaining episode, but I only have 5.5 pages of notes, and lately I've been having like 14 pages of notes. So I feel like this recap is going to go really short, unless I go off on a tangent, which I'm gonna try not to do. So let's see if I can rein it in. So we open the episode with Vicki getting on the back of a motorcycle for the first time. Steve is taking her to a biker bar, whatever. We see a little flashback to 4 days before when she's at the office and she's talking to her assistant, Linda. Linda is a gem. You guys, Linda is one of those secondary characters that just adds a level of enjoyment for me to the show. She is just a sassy, no-nonsense gal. And she starts telling Vicki this horrible, tragic story about a motorcycle accident. Like, Vicki really needs to hear this. So then you see her, you know, first of all, she's got a Harley t-shirt on. Please. I don't know. I felt offended on behalf of actual real bikers. Anyway, she gets her helmet on and everything, and she gets on the back of the bike, and she's like, am I going to fall off? How am I not going to fall off? And he's like, just put your arms around me. It's going to be fine. I'm going to go slow and easy and steady. And she's like, okay. And he is. He's going nice and even and slow, and she is screaming her head off. I mean, screaming. No. And, you know, she's behind him. Like, her mouth is like right behind his ear. And finally he's like, Vic, stop screaming. And I'm thinking, happy you bought her those leathers for her birthday now, Steve? We cut to Shannon preparing to pack and get ready to go to Philadelphia for her QVC appearance, which is coming up. And she is going with Sophie, her 16-year-old, and the twins are staying home with, I don't know, somebody, or going to their dad's, I don't know. So now Vicki and Steve are sitting in this biker bar, and they're having drinks and like burgers or something. And Vicki says, well, this is something I can check off my bucket list now. No. Nobody believes that that was on your bucket list, Vicki. I mean, maybe pretend you love riding on motorcycles so that your boyfriend will ask you to marry him? Check. Then, for some reason, they start talking about Jeana's marriage again. You know who couldn't care less about Jeana's marriage? Steve. And you know who else shouldn't care? Vicki. Dude, you barely know Jeana. You just met her a few months ago. Why are you so invested in whether she stays married or not? I don't get it. Are you trying to make that your storyline? It's very strange to me. Then they're done eating and they get back on the bikes to go home, and Vicki is no more relaxed now than she was on the way there. And Bravo does a good job of making this funny, because you hear her screaming and then they show like it echoing off the canyons and the mountains. It's pretty funny. All right, now we have a bunch of like quickie scenes where we shoot from one person's house to another and back and forth and all around the place. And we start at Emily's house. This, I believe, might be the only scene Shane is in this whole episode. They're at home, and one of her like 2-year-old twins pooped somewhere, and now, of course, it's Emily who has to go run and investigate and try and find out where it happened. While Shane just stands there and makes a face like, ew. That's his go-to face, the ew face. And Bravo never misses an opportunity to show it to us. So I'm kind of wondering if somebody in the editing room at Bravo is not a big fan of Shane's either. He's not getting a great edit. I mean, it's possible there's no way to give him a great edit, but yeah, they're not missing an opportunity to show us him being a jerk, you know? Now we see Kelly inviting Jeana over to the Love Shack because she's having a little get together to watch Shannon on QVC. Cut over to Shannon in Philadelphia. Like I said, she's there with Sophie and she's all excited. Then we cut to a scene with Jeana and her parents are in town and they go out to eat and they're of course talking about her divorce. And I think I might really like her parents. They seem kind of down to earth to me. Now we cut back to Emily, who I guess has taken the kids over to her in-laws, and they don't live too far away. And she was saying how it's nice for her to have them so close because, you know, she can just drop the kids off whenever she needs some time alone and that kind of thing. And her kids need to be dropped off every once in a while. Just saying. And so she's having a little sit down with Perry, Shane's mom. She was talking about how, I guess the unfertilized eggs that she has frozen, Emily feels ready. She would really like to have a daughter for her daughter because she was so very close to her sister when she grew up, and she would love to have that for her own daughter. Which, you know, listen, Emily mentioned that I guess her mom had some issues and that really her sister and she kind of bonded because they were all each other had. That's very different. I'm just saying, even if you have a daughter, there's no guarantee that the two are going to be the sisters that you and your sister were. You know, you can't force what kind of a relationship your children have with each other. So, I don't know. She kind of retells this really sad story about how she was carrying twins and they were 4 months along and she miscarried and almost died in the process. She lost a lot of blood. They rushed her to the emergency room. It was such a sad story, but it was almost refreshing in a way to see Emily that genuine and vulnerable. I don't know, it made me realize how guarded she is in all of her other scenes. That just kind of made me, you know, feel for her, and I kind of liked her when she let her guard down a little bit. I've said this before, I'll say it again. Her scenes with Shane are so stilted and awkward that either something's going on and that's not a real marriage, or the two of them are just completely uncomfortable in front of a camera. Anyway, Shane said no to more kids, but Emily does not seem like she wants to stop trying. Now we cut to Philadelphia again, and Tamara shows up to support Shannon, yet I don't know how supportive she is. She just keeps making her nervous. It's tomorrow. I can't believe it's tomorrow. Do you know what you're going to say? Did you practice? Do you have notes? And she's like, well, no, I was just going to kind of wing it. And you know what? I'd be like, Tamara, stay home. You're making me so much more nervous. Anyway, she's happy that she's there. The two of them are both out of their boots. Hallelujah. I was so done with the boots and the scooters. Oh, and Shannon did remember to ask about Eddie, who had just had another procedure, which Tamara said that it was working. So she was optimistic. Okay, now we see Kelly, and she is bringing Jolie to a musical theater audition. Oh, God. Kelly. She is the worst. She is such a mean girl, or like such a popular girl. So she takes her and she said, you know, I don't usually take her because that's usually Michael's thing. Musical theater is kind of Michael's thing. I don't know what she was implying there, but to the confession cam, she admits that I always thought theater was like for dorks. I did like volleyball and sports and stuff like that. Yeah, of course you did. So then she says, but you know, if this is what Jolie is into, I want to support her. So there they are, and they're going through like these vocal exercises and stuff, and there's Kelly front and center, just like she can barely contain herself from laughing. At least she's trying to be supportive. She's there anyway. I don't know if it would be more supportive to just like drop her off and leave, or to stay and laugh at her. All right, now we see Jeana and Vicki meet in a coffee shop. Why? Why, Bravo? Why are you making these two meet for coffee? Anyway, Jeana tells her that really hurt my feelings when you said I didn't have a moral compass. And Vicki said, oh, well, I mean, I don't know how that came out of my mouth, but I didn't really mean that. I just think you need to think about the kids and not be selfish. Okay, that's better. That doesn't hurt her feelings. So she goes, I'm not being selfish. I feel like I'm being an adult and making an adult decision for my children. I should say they start with small talk where Jeana tells her that her parents are in town and Vicki goes, oh yeah, how long are they in town? I'd like to meet them. And then Vicki goes, are they my age? How old are they? And she said they're in their early 60s, which is very close to Vicki's age. Then she tells her, yeah, my parents have been married for 40 years. And Vicki goes, oh, well, you know, our parents' generation, divorce was like not even an option. Okay, wait, time out. You are the same generation as Jeana's parents. And you managed to get divorced twice, so not sure what you're talking about. Anyway, you know, I do feel like if Jeana would have explained to the ladies her feelings about the divorce and everything, the way she talked to her parents about it, I think the ladies might have been more sympathetic. I mean, maybe not with this group, but I do feel like if she would have been a little bit more open about how this stuff makes her feel, instead of acting like, it's all good, we're fine, we're best friends, we're fine. You're sort of forcing the others to think, well, then why are you getting a divorce? You have to understand that that's going to make it difficult for people to understand why you're getting a divorce and therefore difficult for them to sympathize with you. Then Vicki again says something like if she could turn back the clock 8 or 10 years, she would have been a better wife to Don. And she said, I broke his heart and I wouldn't have done that if I could do it over again. So then Jeana said, you know, I don't think you should keep doing that. You have a great life. You have a great boyfriend. You have a great job. You have a wonderful life. Why do you keep looking to the past? I think you're being too hard on yourself, and I think you should just be happy where you are right now. And she's right. Vicki ends up saying that she shouldn't judge her friend and she should just be supportive of Jeana and that she's gonna try and do that, but we'll see. Okay, back in Philadelphia, Shannon and Sophie and Tamara show up at the QVC place where she's going to be filming, and it's about an hour before she goes on the air, and she has to go through everything and kind of practice. And I guess as they're going through it, they're telling her, like, she's supposed to take one of her meals out of the microwave and cut open the bag and pour it onto a plate. And it quickly becomes apparent to the producers that might be too much for Shannon, who's never done this before. And so that they're going to have the other girl do all that, and Shannon will just be standing there talking about it. So we cut back to Kelly's house back in the OC, and Emily and Jeana and Vicki are coming over to watch the QVC with her. And also her friend Jack is there. I don't know who he is. He's cute. And he was kind of helping Kelly set up her little party. Now it's showtime, and those ladies are all sitting around watching, and Tamara and Sophie are in the green room watching. And it starts, and she's okay. She might be a tad nervous at first. Tamara's telling her, like, oh, Tamara's cringing every time she says something negative. Tamara doesn't want her to focus on, like, you know, well, I gained 40 pounds, and, you know, you don't have to say all that. Be positive. Well, I think she has to tell that story. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Anyway, whatever she says, Tamara's like in the green room going, oh, and she turns back and looks at Sophie like, oh, your mom is screwing up. And you see all the ladies at Kelly's house, and Kelly goes, oh, she's wearing my jacket. It looks good on her. And she's got this like blue blazer on. Cut back to the green room, Tamara. She's wearing Kelly's blazer. It's too small for her. Why is she wearing that? Nothing like a supportive friend. So at first I was thinking, oh, well, Tamara's being so harsh. And I was starting to think that the ladies at Kelly's house were being way more supportive than Tamara, until The belly grab. Yes, the belly grab heard round the world. Shannon took hold of her belly fat and kind of shook it on national television. I mean, all the ladies were kind of horrified. You know, there was a lot of, no, don't do that. But in the end, she really did do a great job, and everybody was happy for her and supportive. She got back to the green room and she was relieved, and Shannon and Sophie were very happy and, you know, congratulating her. And everyone thought she did a great job, including QVC, because the shrimp sold out and she sold like 1,100 units in 8.5 minutes. And then back at Kelly's house, this is funny, Vicki tried to order a couple of the meals, and she called and she said, yeah, I want 2 of the meals from Shannon Bedore, and I'm one of her very good friends. And the person from QVC hung up on her. Yeah, it was funny. It was funny. And then Kelly calls and she's disguising her voice and she's like, yes, I'd like to order 2 of the meals. I'd like the shrimp and the salmon. And the guy from QVC goes, okay, and your name? Vicki Gunvalson. Click. They hung up again. QVC was not having it. I wonder how many like prank calls they do get though. I don't ever watch QVC. Do you guys? I'm going to do a little poll question right here. Have you guys ever ordered anything from QVC? Yes or no? And would you order Shannon's meals? Let me know that right up there. I'm not a huge fish lover, but I do like salmon and I like shrimp. I just feel like those meals, like lean cuisine that you do in the microwave in the bag, I don't trust them. I'm kind of curious though. Maybe we should all try it and see. I'll look into it. Definitely, if I get one, I will let you guys know and I will report if I liked it or not. Okay, so that's it, you guys. I told you this one went by really fast. So thanks for joining me. And if you haven't yet subscribed to Jill Informed, please do so. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. All engagement is important to YouTube, which makes it important to me, and I appreciate it very much. Also, please comment. I love to hear what you guys think. Let me know what you thought of this episode. Oh, did you guys see how cute Jeana's dad was back in the day? I'm gonna put a picture up for you guys, and I'm thinking he was kind of cute. Again, people, he's no Steve Clooney, but I did think he was kind of cute. All right, that's it for me this week. Hope to see you next Monday at 1 p.m. Central Time for the next recap of The Real Housewives of Orange County. Bye-bye.